doing it with like Cam and David.
by myself.
You ever need help with that? Let me know.
What do you mean, help with running the show?
Or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you don't like doing that, or
Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but
sure.
they got a door guy there. Have you done that show yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a couple. I like that room a lot.
Yeah.
Like if they get the right advertising or whatever. Is it
Uh-huh.
on? Yeah, sorry. It's just my mic. If they get like I think they should just be doing barking there cuz it's just right in the heart of Austin where they could get some shit going.
Yeah.
I like
I
that
think
room a
bark.
lot.
I don't like barking though.
I did it for Roscoe's and I did it once for Black Rabbit cuz I got on a show there and I was trying to get another one and Joey's just trying to be like, yeah.
Do you think you get a good audience if you bark? Because that's the thing. I think
It
it's like,
saved our show at Roscoe's. When I ran a show at Roscoe's, I did the Dallas Invasion. We
uh-huh.
probably had like 10, 20 tickets, but we barked like 30 minutes earlier. And Roscoe's not even the best place for foot traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially that street, but if you go one over, it's
You
not
were
too bad.
barking on the street that Roscoe is on, right next to the Planned Parenthood.
The one on the other side. So, like, Roscoe's here, and then
Yeah.
you can go behind Roscoe's, and there's that
Oh, on
pizza
Sixth
place.
Street.
Yes, or maybe it's fifth, but yes, yeah. Isn't Roscoe's on
There's
sixth?
the alley,
Yeah.
and then beyond. Yeah, that's a good walking neighborhood, though.
Yeah. So we
It's
probably
just
got maybe like five, six more people, maybe even
that's all
10
you
because of
need.
that. Yeah.
So, what are these people like? What are their vibes like? Are they like bored out of their minds and they're just like going out into the world, just waiting for someone to tell them what to do?
A little bit. Some of these people, yeah. Some of these people, honestly, they're just like,
I don't
yeah,
think I would respect that audience, but hey, whatever it takes, right? I
just to
mean,
fill
it's
the
better
seats,
than
man. Yeah. Yeah. At this
nothing.
point, yeah. It wasn't a bad show. It was like 35. I was expecting literally like 10 people
Yeah.
because, I didn't bring anybody that can bring people, which, I don't expect them to do that. But then, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, is this live? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. This is going. Word, word.
I hate
Are
how
we
it
just
like
gonna
buzzes
are we gonna
everyone.
watch the podcast and talk about it? Is
I'm
that
just trying to make sure
fair?
everything's
Okay, okay, that's fair.
Let me play around with these buttons.
Oh yeah, the compressor and stuff. Over yesterday, we were talking all over each other.
Did you listen to it?
No, what? No, why would I do that? Huh.
You didn't put the compressor all the way to 10.
See what happens. Put it because it's supposed to just flatten the noise. It's supposed to flatten your voice, so
Yeah.
then it's not as like wide.
Why should Let's talk at the same time. Ready? One, two, three.
Yeah.
Shabba dabba
Shabba
dabba
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 dooba
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 dabba
dabba
dooba
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 dabba.
dabba dabba dooba.
It's not bad. I mean, we have very different
Yeah,
tones of voice. I
but
think
it's like
mine's
it doesn't
nasally.
matter how it sounds through these because comes from there. Something weird happens when you put it through the computer, so that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. Are they?
Listen.
That's yeah. It's not bad. That's not bad. It's not. It's not. I mean, but you're not. We're not supposed to be talking over each other. Like when there was five of us yesterday, we
Yeah,
were having like two different conversations. Sometimes,
I just don't know what the compressor does. I think it helps though because
it it
sometimes,
it takes the EQ and it just flattens it like that.
yeah,
It compresses the sound. That's why it's called
so
a
it
compressor.
fucks it all up.
Yeah, they do that in music. There's this term in the music industry called that made it big, where it was like compressor wars, and when you compress the file there, you can make it louder without actually peaking out or whatever. So
Yeah,
then everybody was kind of doing it because he created like this wall of sound. Like that's what the Beatles were about, and like a lot of rock. So a lot of music
compression.
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They use a lot of
So there's
compression.
just so many sound waves in this tight little
Pretty
area.
much. That it
They're
becomes like
just
a wall.
blasting you,
Yes. So then people can crank it and then you get that kind of feel. And that was like a big I mean, it
putting
changed
more
from there.
information in
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
this each
It
song.
it's changed from there. Now it's like, R&B and rap and they have their own version
Yeah.
of that, but yeah, it's not.
So the Dallas Invasion, you had a show
Yeah.
and you barked and a lot of and it made the show a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think barking I mean, you got to be in the right place, you know what I'm saying? Like if there's
Well,
foot traffic, barking's doable.
I
But
think right now there's a lot of interest in comedy in Austin because
sure.
there's so many shows going on. So people get acclimatized to it.
Sure. No, it's like live music now, where people are like, "Oh, I don't want to see this comedy show. I can walk 3 feet down the street, and there's another totally different type of comedy show." And
Yeah,
there's the weird ones, like the shot collar one. We were talking about that yesterday. The dog,
yeah.
which is just, I get it,
That's
but yeah, I get it.
that's that's like not respecting the comedian enough.
And nobody does ever. Nobody respects comedians. Only like maybe the few top ones. Most comics are just looked at as not like even like a homeless musician. I think gets more respect than like an open micer in a sense, because at least a homeless musician's like
They're
no
working on
scales.
something.
Yeah, they know chords.
That's what I was thinking about. Is like, what do I know how to do? Like, yeah, I can talk in front of an audience in a very specific way, but it's not really transferable to anything else.
No, like you couldn't be on the evening news
Yeah,
doing. You could maybe be the weather guy, but those guys are usually pretty peppy. Could be like
yeah, you gotta be
the
fake.
ominous weather guy. You're like,
Yeah.
it's gonna rain
I
today.
think it ruins me for most jobs doing comedy.
Were
Because
you
now
gonna
you're
get
just
those
so
jobs
full of
anyways,
bullshit.
though?
You don't,
Were you gonna be
you
able to
don't,
get those jobs
you
anyway?
can't take bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's my
well,
thoughts.
I could have
If you focused, maybe.
if I worked like tortured myself and did it full time.
What would you do?
Anything. Like
Anything but
any
comedy?
job like that I'm talking about. I
Okay.
would you could change who you are from an early age.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah.
But
And
now we're ruined because we're doing comedy
yeah,
and we can't really function in an
no.
environment of bullshit,
Yeah, no.
which is most jobs.
True. Like I couldn't be corporate, but I was never gonna be corporate.
Yeah.
You could have fit in corporate. I could see you in a suit
I
and
mean, I
just like
tried. Just because I look like I could doesn't mean I'd be good at it. I'd be like a retarded corporate guy because I'd
I
be
think you'd
like
be upper
splitting your
management.
brain into two, like
Yeah.
fake and real. I just don't want to do that. I mean, I'm barely keeping it together with this one personality. I don't want to have two.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. So you do feel like your onstage persona is kind of in line with your offstage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a persona,
Um,
but like
yeah,
you try to be
I think
authentically
so.
yourself more on stage and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Cuz
that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about just like in a corporate environment.
yeah, you got to have your
Yeah.
corporate
But I
talk
guess
and
in
then
comedy, you're saying like
like
you don't
cuz
have to
I
fake it.
have two personalities. I have one that's on stage and then who I am more so. I try to bring my authentic self on stage, but I'm a lot. I think I'm a lot meaner on stage. I don't. I'm more like sad and nice off stage. I would say. I'm not saying I'm like completely nice, but like I'm not as like the fuck you kind of deal. Where
But
on
you're more
stage I'm like,
jokey about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, yeah, like fuck you, but ha ha ha,
yeah.
it's funny enough. But off stage, you would never risk saying that.
Yeah. No, I'm not just trying to, unless I knew the person very well and they're like my boys, and then I'll be like, yeah. Like, I'm sure I've said at least like once or twice to you a little bit.
I think
Like,
it's because on stage you have a merit to do crazy things.
yes, a license to kill, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, I want to see you do. If you go up there and
Yeah.
do normal things, that's offensive.
Yes. Well, to certain crowds, which
Yeah,
I
to
like.
most crowds
Yeah, yeah.
that
Well, there's
want to
some
see a
crowds that
show.
love, I call it pop comedy. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, there's a
but
lot of pop comics that, they don't want swearing
even
or
then,
anything.
that's like they want to still see a show. They just want to see the best version of something boring.
Yes. And even that pop comedy has an edge, but it's just a totally different edge.
Uh-huh.
So it's like to them that's edgy, but then you take it to the other place and they're like, that's family friendly
Yeah.
jokes or whatever. Which is cool. It's cool doing both. I prefer the dark and dirty or whatever, more like after hours adult kind of shit. It's just more my
Yeah.
style.
I don't really pick and choose. I think like different moods, I'm down for both. I'm pretty 50-50.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I'm 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 more just like thinking about who I am as a person. I think I'm a little more prickly for like a pop comedy crowd compared to, yeah, I like to think I'm more salt of the earth kind of deal, where it's like I rather do like blue collar comedy more so than like white collar.
Yeah.
in my opinion. But you know, white collars got money, so I'll make them laugh too. You know, so
Have you ever done a crowd of like super rich people or like a condo show? Or,
kind of private shows. I've done
yeah.
some private corporate gigs and stuff.
Like it doesn't even have to be rich people, but people just that are trying to act like they're rich, like
Yeah,
businesses and
that's
stuff.
even worse
Yeah.
actually, because then it's like they want that facade of like you have to respect me. Really rich folks actually are pretty good at taking some shit to a degree, and then
Well,
they'll
people that actually do something
yeah
and like got their riches by being a real person, like, Richard Branson or something.
sure yeah he'll take a joke
But it's
yeah
like so weird to brush up against that in comedy to see this like inhuman business culture and
yeah
how they are divorced from laughter. It's like almost impossible to make them laugh because they are so weird.
yeah
And when they do laugh, they all have to be unique. They laugh like oh
sure. I haven't heard
to
that, but I
show
kind of
that
get what you're saying.
they're
Yeah.
different.
I think it's because they're all on Adderall. That's why.
But the Adderall is the
Because
end
Adderall's
result of the
the
original
work.
cause of
Yes,
why they want to take it.
but Adderall, like meth, you know, Germans run meth. Like you're not fucking. I'm talking about like the Nazis right now, but it's like they're
But there's
not
a reason why they choose to take it.
because it's
So
productive.
yeah, because they want to feel that way.
Yes,
So just because it's they're on that drug doesn't mean that it's the drug's fault. It's like still
it's 100%
the
the drug's fault
culture,
a little bit
the
because
culture that chose that drug.
people on meth don't laugh. That's what I'm saying. The
Well,
humor becomes too logical, and they're trying to figure out the logic compared to being like, this is a joke. This is supposed to be fun. It's almost like how I look at stand up now, and I'm not on Adderall, but I'm more like studying it more so than just enjoying it kind of deal. Where then it's like that takes all the times I laugh at comedy, it's because I've had like a couple drinks in me or something, or I just smoked some weed, and I'm not hyper focused on it. And I think
yeah.
Adderall and everybody being on Adderall has made people hyper focused where then people are like, "Oh, what does this joke mean in the grand scheme of life?" And it's like
So they're more
nothing.
analytical.
Yeah.
They're
Which
just
is
trying
good
to
in a
look
lot of
at
ways.
the ones and zeros because that's what they get paid for. They
Yeah.
don't care about being human because if they were
Yeah.
human, they would kill themselves.
Or at least stop doing their job. Yeah.
But
Their
it's
strict
weird that
job.
there's like a subsection of our society that's like so fucked up like that, and we have to deal with them.
I think you need them though. You need some of those idiots, and they're not even idiots. Like if I'm more the idiot in a sense, but like you need those kind of people to get I mean, not to diminish them, but gears in the machine to fucking move things along.
Why do we need people that are like machines? We have machines. The good thing
Yeah.
about people is their emotions, and if these people don't have any emotions, they're just like computers, and we can
Yeah.
delete them.
But the machines need people to fix them, right?
Yeah,
So like,
so get a human
yeah.
that is sort of computer-like.
I'd love for the machines to take over the day-to-day stuff so that humans can relax, but I
Yeah.
don't see that.
I was thinking about this. Why don't we just get computer or animals like dogs, like AI self-driving cars hard, but
Yeah.
just a dog that's gonna bark when it sees danger. So then you incorporate that
Interesting.
into it, so you don't have to start from square one,
Sure. And we can
and you
blame the
just have
dogs for
dogs.
being bad drivers instead of
Yes,
yeah,
and
Asians or
we can
women or
uh, we can have them do deliveries. They love running.
true.
Why aren't
Yeah.
they doing Uber Eats and stuff? We should be
Uh
using animals more
yeah, that's
instead of
not a bad
AI.
idea. But people think that's like slavery too, which is you know what I mean? Like there's no winning with
Well,
people.
I was
Eventually they're going to
thinking
say the
about
robots
this,
are
and it's
slaves.
like the dogs would get hit by cars.
Yeah.
A lot of them would die.
Yeah. Or we'll probably just start picking up dogs so I can get some free food. Just being like, "Here boy." I mean, it's kind of like those I forget what those called, the Saint Bernards, where they had the alcohol on their neck. You remember those in
Yeah,
like cartoons, and then
yeah.
they would go in the
Had the
snow.
red cross on it.
Yeah.
Health alcohol.
In that situation, maybe it is. Yeah.
If you were in a survival situation, would you be like, let's get drunk?
Once the dog came, yeah, maybe to relax. 'Cause I'm assuming the dog's gonna be taking over.
You're
Yeah.
in good spirits when they rescue you so
Oh,
that you're
bro.
not like thrashing around.
What? There's no better way to get rescued than by like just a dog with booze on it. Maybe like a shot girl, maybe like a really hot girl for some reason. That's
You can't carry that around a Saint Bernard though.
what.
A hot girl.
No, I'm saying now replace the dog with just like the first thing you want to see when you survive is either like a dog or like a really hot chick. I think
Yeah.
right, that would be
I'm
nice.
thinking like back in the day, this was the thing that gave them the most happiness per unit volume. So they're like, let's load him up with alcohol. Like we could give him cheese or bread or
That's true. They
whatever.
should have some food. That's a good point. Or some water. Yeah, yeah.
Right, but that's not as
Or at least some.
valuable to them as alcohol
Yeah,
is.
I would prefer a dog with just a syringe and heroin around his neck, and then I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
they
I'm
have
saved.
that.
I'm saved. Yeah,
Give them the most bang for your buck.
yeah. A little fentanyl, just skip it. Don't even have to shoot it. You just touch it on your finger, and you're dead. Kind of
Just
deal.
absorb it
Yeah, yeah,
like the cops do.
yeah, yeah. Which
Cops
is
can
nuts.
absorb fentanyl through their eyes just by looking at it.
Is that a joke? What are you?
Yeah, because they're always
Okay.
complaining about that.
Yeah, they are. No, they are. Yeah, yeah. Well, fuck you up. They should just start putting fentanyl in the water so everybody gets a nice base coat so that they
Yeah, so
don't
they
die.
develop a
Yeah.
tolerance.
Yeah, kind of like the Princess Bride kind of stuff.
Yeah, they should put in like snake venom
Throw
so
that
that
in
we
there.
all develop an immunity.
Sure. Sure.
And then when a foreigner comes, they're just gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, no. Then and that controls the illegal immigration
Yeah,
because
they
then you'd
can't
have
drink our
to.
water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not because it'll make you sick. It'll make you feel so good, and then you'll and then you'll die
Yeah.
from feeling so good.
Does my voice sound more muted than yours?
Uh, I think that's just a general thing with you, though.
You don't think it's
I
the
think you're just a
audio?
very mute kind of person,
Well,
a
I don't
little bit.
think mute. I think it's just more like not as sharp.
Yeah, you could change the EQs on that if you want. Which one's yours? Here, listen.
The one closer to me, too.
You want like more highs? Like
Yeah.
lows, maybe a little less.
Well, just make it the same. I don't want it to. Yeah, that sounds better, I think. Yeah.
I can't hear it, but yeah, sounds like the same voice.
So, what are you doing in Austin nowadays?
Living out of my car still. I mean, couch surfing here and there, and then yeah, fucking. Uh,
Are you going to like see the sights? Are you going to like Zilker
no,
Park and
no.
shit?
I mean, sometimes, but that's because I got nowhere else to go, and I know Zilker Park's a pretty safe place in general. I mean, I'm crashing at like comics couches and stuff. Like, it's not like I'm living on the street, but you know, I'm figuring out, and I have some money saved up where I think, yeah, probably in a month or two, maybe. Especially if I get that job at Vulcan, then I can save some more.
Yeah.
Probably get a place or crash with comics or something like that.
Do you like Austin?
It's a hate love thing, man. It's a hate because I used to live here before stand up, so like I was here in like 2008 to 2012, and a lot of that was with the drug addiction shit and stuff. And
Was this a
there's
good place for that?
drugs, yeah, man, yeah, yeah,
Was it
yeah.
better than Dallas?
You know what? The drugs were different. So like Dallas was more like meth, coke, and like ecstasy, and then here was like acid, shrooms, weed, and like
Heroin.
Molly. Heroin's everywhere if you look for it. But
Where'd
yeah,
you start?
here, pretty much, or
Okay, yeah.
kind of. I kind of did a little bit in Dallas, but it was like cheese. You know what that is?
No.
It's like it's heroin and Advil that drug dealers put, or Tylenol PM that drug dealers make, and it's kind of like a light heroin, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, and then when I came here, I was going through a breakup and just fucked me up in the wrong way, and just started doing all sorts of different drugs. And then yeah, kind of got a hold of me, got arrested, to drug, almost went to prison, went to drug court, and then went back to Dallas, and then started doing comedy in Dallas after like 3 4 years.
So you are out of jail. It's been three to
Yeah,
4 years.
yeah,
What
yeah,
made you start comedy?
yeah. Man, like I was kind of lost. I was in school for I was doing music. And I was trying to, because like I was down here trying to be a musician too, and I think the reason why I didn't make it or try as a music, because I think with music a lot of times it's like you got to have a group, I'm not really good in groups. I'm kind of solo. Like I like being part of a group, but
You're
I'm
more of like a tennis player and not really a baseball player.
yeah, yeah. Well said. And I can still play doubles, so it's not like I can't play well with others.
Who do you
But
like
it's
to
like
play
yeah.
doubles with?
Some of Tom Murphy. You know who Tom Murphy is?
Is he redheaded?
Yeah,
I think I know.
yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
Uh,
Love him to death.
And you like volleying with him?
Yeah. He's a good volley partner. There's a
So
few.
you did music and you're like, I want to do something artistic but not musical.
Yeah, and I think also playing. I like playing music for myself. It's
Yeah.
not one of those things I
Do you
care to
think?
share about. I don't mind doing it,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
personal.
yeah, more personal than that. And comedy was just perfect for me. And then
Yeah.
Dallas scene blew up, and then Austin blew up, and
So,
it's weirdly lucky that I'm here, even though I'm in my fucking car. Yeah,
do
it's
you mean
kind
the
of weird.
scene in Austin?
No, just my career or whatever you want to call it in comedy,
Yeah.
like
What you've
how.
done so far?
Yeah, and I still haven't done shit, but it's still like, it's just these weird little moments of luck that I was like, oh, and then a whole new door opened or something.
Yeah.
Like when, like, I got like banned from my club and stuff, and then that I ended up helping me out. I remember about to move to LA, and then COVID happened, so that kind of prevented it. And then Joe Rogan moved here, and I was like, this is way better than I feel like trying to make it in LA or New York, where I was like,
Yeah.
this is there.
LA and
And
New York is just so sad. Just like,
LA's not bad. I've been out there. It's not like terrible.
well, a lot of people hate it.
I can imagine.
And
It's oversat. It's
just
almost as
like
saturated
the
as here.
fact that there's only two cities is just not enough. It's like this is not mathematically going to work out. And the fact that everyone thinks they have to go there, it's just like everything else with our culture. It's just like monoculture.
Sure.
It's two parties,
You don't
Marvel,
you
DC.
don't feel that way with Austin at all?
Austin is a new thing. It's
True.
still growing, so it's not saturated yet. But obviously, there needs to be more than just Austin, New York, LA,
Sure.
Chicago, and I
No.
think it's better to have a richer and more diversity, and it takes more brain power to be like, oh yeah, Chicago's like that, New York's like this.
Yeah.
But I think it makes it better, more deeper and richer and stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Austin's in a good spot too because it does have Dallas, it does have San Antonio, and it does have Houston, where it's like
Yeah,
those aren't those aren't close, but they're. I've always thought about
they're giant. Dallas and
Houston.
Houston are
Yeah.
huge.
But Houston doesn't have enough clubs. They need to open up. For how big they are, they have
Yeah,
like 3, 4 clubs.
yeah.
They should be like Dallas almost, where it's like, and you know what I've always thought? I've always thought about opening a club in Waco. You know what I'm talking about? North of here.
Um, Waco, yes.
Yeah. Because it's a college town. There's fucking nothing there. I think there's like one comedy club there, and it's a black box theater, so it's not even fully comedy. And it's right smack dab in the middle of Austin and Dallas, and the amount of people in both of those places is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. The only problem is I wouldn't want to start there. Like I wouldn't want to grow comics there. I
I
don't
just
want
feel like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna own a comedy club, you're gonna have to be there a lot in
exactly.
Waco.
That's
And
the
it's
only
like it
other
takes
thing.
away from doing comedy, I feel like,
It does.
owning a comedy club.
Yeah. Even producing one. You're just that fucking that's a pain. That me doing that one Dallas Invasion show, I was like, fuck this. I mean, I'll do a couple of them, but
Yeah.
being a producer sucks. I have a lot of respect for. I also do hate producers, but like I have a lot of respect for what they do. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Some
Of course,
people
you
don't
can.
use the power right because they
Exactly.
didn't really earn it
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just sort of got it however they got it.
Sure. Or they just right place, right time. They're the
They just
ones with
had
money.
gumption.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, I'm gonna ask this guy if we
Which I
can do
respect
this.
that. I respect the
Yeah.
gumption, but
But
then
that's not enough.
no
It doesn't make you a better person.
or comic.
Yeah, it's not hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I think that the best way to do it is the way Joe Rogan did it, obviously, is where you're so
Fear factor.
rich
Oh, okay.
that you can just buy a comedy club
True.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
just put the money in it to run it right,
Yeah.
and you don't really have to like
He doesn't even care.
micromanage it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna do that too, but then I realized I didn't have any money. That was the big crux and the flaw there. But.
Get a apartment before you get a comedy club.
Bro, I would probably get a comedy club before I get an apartment a little bit. If
Two
comedy wanted
birds
me
in
to
one
have an
stone.
apartment, if comedy wanted me to have an apartment, I would.
You could sleep
It
in the
would get.
comedy club.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably what would happen, man. Yeah, fucking. Why get an apartment? If like I was getting something, it would probably be like a house. Like I don't. I've done the apartment thing, man. It's just they take your security deposit every single time. I don't know. I want like temporary housing. That's what I want.
Hmm.
Where I can move around.
So, you did Dallas comedy for how many years?
8, 2015. It
You
was
were killing it at the Hyena show,
oh,
Dallas and Fort Worth.
actually I saw on Reddit when I was taking pictures of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll take a picture of myself,
Mm-hmm.
just what I'm saying. And then I saw on Reddit somebody making fun of me for that.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah. He said I
Well,
sucked, and I was like, I thought I did pretty good.
damn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're out
That
there
was great. No,
reviewing.
those were
You
great
did
shows.
great. I think
Yeah,
your jokes are so funny. I was laughing.
thanks, man.
I
Thanks.
like it because you try to do something emotionally interesting to the audience. You don't
Yeah.
just try to be like, and then my dog went up the stairs.
Sure,
You're
sure.
like, hey, isn't it kind of fucked up that pedophiles look like me?
I didn't say that, but sure.
I don't know.
I
I
think
was
you're
doing an
making your own
example.
joke,
It seems pretty hard to make an example of that.
or just
But
like,
it's just, you just like to fuck with them a little bit
oh
in a
yes, I do.
playful way, which is like
Yeah,
I like that. I like comedy with teeth. I don't like people that just want to like
I do
just
too.
gently pet the audience.
Pop comedy.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I.
want to like
Yeah,
fucking shove
a
them.
little bit. Just like, hey man, we're alive. This is live. Like if you wanted
Yeah.
to just watch my shit, go watch it on the internet because then
It's
you
like
have that
you're in
wall.
the building and you're being emotionally manipulated, and people like that. They like to be jerked around sometimes. I'm
It's
sure sometimes they don't.
kind of verbal BDSM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, some people want to get slapped around a little bit verbally. Yeah,
And
it's
some
terrible for
people
my
want to do
personal
heroin
relationships. Yeah,
and
I'm not doing
fruits.
heroin anymore.
Well, I
Yeah,
feel like that's like a part of your personality now.
probably. Yeah, and part of the problem was I made it that, but then when I was getting into comedy, I was just getting out of it. So it was, and now like 8 years later, it's like it's not me, but it still is.
Yeah.
Like you in the van, right? That's probably still a part of you, right?
No,
No,
I'm
okay,
way past that.
it's nice.
I don't even think
Nice.
about that van
You don't
anymore.
look at vans now, and you're like, damn, dude, that's a
You
fucking
can tell when a
nice
person
van,
has a
dude.
good van,
Yeah.
uh, basically based on the what's on top. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
That's
the
the
van
deal.
life was fun. I enjoyed doing it.
Hmm.
I
You did as long as I was doing like heroin. Weren't you doing it for like 10 years?
lived in a van.
Yeah, yeah. Or like you were.
No,
How long were you living in a van?
like 4.
Still pretty long, but yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
Well, I think it was around 4, but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, the van was fun. I loved doing it. I loved like taking back my time. I don't want to give my time so I can go to a guy and buy a place to rent. It's like I gotta go through like so many middlemen just to get a place to
sure,
live. It's
sure.
like I'll just make my own place, and that's saving so much more time than if I
And money.
worked for someone else
Yeah,
to buy a house or like a tiny home.
yeah. No, I'm with you.
It's just more efficient in my opinion. And then I was just doing mics in New York all the time, which I need to do more of. I need to like hit
Go back
all
to
the
Mike's.
shitty mics so that I understand a skeptical crowd
Yeah,
listening to me
or
and how
even
to convince
more
them to be
almost a
funny,
hostile crowd because
undeniably
yeah,
funny so that they have to laugh. I think that will help me.
yeah. Kind of steel sharpens steel shit. Where it's like if they don't
Yeah,
want to laugh and then you still make them laugh, that's
I think a lot of people that do open mics like to like think that it's more important than it is. I don't
true.
think it's like the most important thing,
No,
but I think it is good for honing bits. And it depends on the mic too, because some mics are just not worth it at
that was
all.
true. The one that I don't think that was open. So it's like in that, yeah, I was like, fuck, dude, what did I
Yeah, fuck
bring
that
that in?
mic.
Yeah, Lake.
No, don't say it.
Okay.
The guy's a
No,
nice guy.
I'm sure he is, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, all of the mics can go suck it after a certain point. Like, there's always gonna be shit mics, but
Yeah.
I think, but with you got so many eyeballs a lot of times on you. Going to those mics, you can kind of go back to just being
Anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not because
I
the
feel like
comics.
more exposed because
Sure,
everyone's just staring at me,
I
waiting for
believe
me
it.
to fail.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's bombed and I did good. That means
Sure,
I deserve what he
and
has
they're 100% right. You don't
all the
deserve
time.
anything you've
Anytime I
got.
bomb, anyone on that show deserves more than me.
Yeah, they should
They
be.
should just take over my life.
It's like Highlander. If they beat you at the mic, they get all your spoils and riches,
Yeah.
and yeah, they take over you. They'll be the new Hans Kim or whatever. Yeah,
Well,
it's gonna
there's gonna
happen.
be a lot of people that are gonna be the next Hans Kim because I'm gonna
A
start
lot of Asian
bombing.
people. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'm gonna start bombing a lot because I think that it's gonna take me a while to transition
Sure. Well, what are you trying to transition into?
into doing the open mics and approaching a hostile crowd.
Sure, but
But
that's
yeah, I
really
think
good.
that's
That's
gonna
like,
be totally worth it
yeah,
because
I
I did open mics for 9 years.
sure.
So this is what something that I'm used to. It's something that I know. And I'm a little out of practice right now, but I can't wait to get back in the game.
That sounds okay, dude. Can't wait to have you, Hans.
You can't be genuine for a moment. I mean, have a heartfelt
Oh my
moment.
god, you give me so much shit about being a piece of shit, dude. I swear to God.
I think
Yeah,
you are like good at having like a track that you're on, and it's very hard to get you off that track once you're on it.
hmm. Okay. We're talking about off stage, right? We're not talking.
Just in general
Okay,
with
okay, okay.
you.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I mean by off stage. Yeah, it's like personality, my actual personality or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Well, both on stage and off stage.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
What do you think about people with ADD?
Um, I think some of them are faking it, but yeah,
Do you
like
get
a lot
along
of.
with them? Is it hard to be with someone who's jumpy?
Well, my Kinsey has ADD,
Yeah.
ADHD,
Does
and
it work out because you're so calm and she's so excited so that it's in the middle most of the
well,
time?
well, you've heard of the like you've been on TikTok where it's avoidant attachment and anxious attachment.
Mm-hmm.
That's me and her. So I'm avoidant attachment and she's anxious. So it's a pretty chaotic relationship a lot of the time because of that. Because yeah,
Wow.
because it's like I can't get my space enough, and then she needs to feel, which I was actually thinking about this as a guy. You kind of have to be avoidant attachment, right? You can't be an anxious attachment guy because that's stalking almost at that
Yeah.
point,
You have
right?
too much power.
Sure, yeah, 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 or like size or fear,
Yeah, once you start getting clingy, it's
yeah,
like scary.
yeah,
It's not fun or cute. It's
yeah.
like, dude, get your shit together. You're a man.
And then the only way to do that as a man is just to go in a corner by yourself and fucking cry almost, or just avoid it so they
Yeah.
don't see that shit. Because, like a little girl coming to your house, being there, people are going to be like, yeah, that's not good, but you know what I mean? She needs to go. But if it's like some 7'8" dude coming to your house and he's like, oh, the guy standing over the tree, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's going to be a lot
Yeah.
for.
So some personality types are ruled out based on your body and your gender.
Sure. You can't just see me pop out of nowhere, dude. Just
Yeah.
looking like, yeah,
If you took your brain and put it in like a petite little cute thing,
yeah,
do you think you would have developed a lot of cute attributes, or do you think that your personality is pretty much the way it is? Because it seems like,
it can't be. It would have to change. It would have to change. I would have been probably slapped a lot more. I've been slapped a lot by dudes too because of my attitude. But I think as a or a late or I don't know because ladies aren't gonna get hit, but like or you know what I mean like they shouldn't be
you would have
getting
been
hit.
pushed around
Something
more.
like that. Yeah, there would have been a lot more scary moments that I probably would have shut my mouth faster because of the
Oh God,
size. The
that's
size.
scary. Just thinking
Yeah.
about how you're constantly censoring yourself,
Sure.
and then
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like, who am I as a person?
Yeah. No, it sucks for. I mean, it sucks for men too, but like, yeah, it sucks for women in that sense. And I try to be mindful of it because sometimes I'm like, why isn't this lady talking to me? I'm like, well, that's weird. I'm sure if she talks to any guy, they're like, she's into me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just avoidant. They don't want to like
sure.
be worried about that.
Yeah. I just try to
Um,
change. I just try to avoid it all, man.
I try to not talk to people that don't want to talk to me.
But sometimes it's like, are you sure they don't want to talk to you, or they just don't know how to? You know what I mean? I'm not even saying you in
You can
particular.
tell.
So
There's
yes,
some
sometimes you
people,
definitely can tell.
yeah, where
Yes.
they're like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that usually is a good clue when they say that. I
Yeah.
do not want to talk to you. Yeah, it's observant. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're in a time where there isn't as much wealth trickling down.
Hmm.
So men aren't as sexy. Things are more desperate. Men
Sure.
get more desperate. And so women are more closed off.
Yeah, but I haven't had money in forever, and I still, you know, got girlfriends and stuff. I think it's just you got to learn
Yeah.
how to be a little more emotional,
I
or
know,
like,
but it wouldn't be nice if everything was working out and we didn't have to like put in extra effort and any extra effort would yield better results.
yeah, the extra effort is extra effort, not
Uh-huh.
expected effort, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I'm just saying like it could be better. Like I think like there's a like sex is very sensitive. Like in
sure,
a couple, if you're having marriage like financial problems, you're not gonna have as much sex. I think that's what's happening
yeah,
now. Like what do most guys do? They're Uber drivers
yeah,
or Postmates delivery drivers. So
yeah,
it's like they're not sexy. There's gonna be less sex. There's
yeah,
less money. You can't do as many cool activities on a date.
yeah,
You're just stuck staring at each other.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. I think it's that guys need to start dating rich women. Stop putting so much emphasis on looks and
Yeah.
fucking personality and
Guys are
find you a
animals.
provider. Yeah. Well, women
Guys
love
can't
animals. Women
stop
love
that.
animals. They can rescue all these little fucking animals and fucking what lady, those ladies that have the dogs that are like bigger than them, like the
Great Danes.
yeah, yeah, where it's like that date. It's like that's the lady you need to date. A
Yeah.
lady that wants to own a lion or a fucking bear or a wolf or
You need to
whatever.
just be like a mandingo to a woman.
Sure, sure. I don't think that's an animal. That's
That's a African
that's
American.
that's a jigaboo, as
You need to
David
be
Jolly
like a
says.
fucking slave to somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, well, yeah, we're all slaves to something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Even if you get to that top level where you're the top guy, you end up becoming like a slave to the society or whatever. Like Elon Musk doesn't really have to answer to it, but it really fucks up his day if he doesn't at least have an ear to society. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He cares more.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like you're always beholden to something. It's just I think the key
Yeah.
is find someone you don't mind being beholden to. Like that's the key to finding a better life for most.
Yeah.
Because you could have somebody that gives you everything, but if they're not like a monster, but just difficult to be around, like that's a shitty life.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a stretch here, but I'm sure there was like one slave back in the day that was like, I like that guy. That guy's always been good to me.
The
Yeah,
masters.
yeah, yeah. One, just one. Sure, he was like in the house or something. I don't
I'm sure
fucking
there
know.
was a slave that
Yeah,
had a great life.
yeah,
He was like, "Wow, that wasn't bad. I
yeah,
was a slave, but
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
everything I
I
wanted to
wish I
do."
wasn't. Yeah, I'm sure that's there, and maybe he still would have killed his master or whatever. But I'm sure he's like, I think you gotta come to peace with some of your shit, because that's like with
You
me
can't
with the
change it. If
yeah,
you're a slave in 1820, like what are you gonna do?
without
You're gonna
luck
start a
and
fucking cultural revolution?
well, one did obviously. Eventually, it
Yeah.
worked out, but yeah,
John
yeah,
Wilkes Booth.
sure, sure. Not the slave I was thinking of, but he was more of an actor. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
He
sure
was
he
a
played a
slave
slave.
to the government.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think he played a slave.
He could have.
Um,
You don't
I
know, man.
mean, I don't
I'm sure they're doing blackface rampantly back then. I'm sure that was
not
just like
not an actor of the caliber of John Wilkes Booth.
fair enough, fair enough.
That guy was well respected,
And look what he
as
did
well he should be.
because of the second part or the acting part.
Both.
Both. Okay, good.
What a what a work
What a
of art.
good guy.
Or
What a
ooh,
what a masterful performer. Yeah.
yeah. What's your opinions on things?
Wow. Great question. Great question. I try to have dude. When we were talking with David yesterday here, I kind of like how David thinks. Where it's like I want to be more like that.
You don't care about politics.
The little, I don't have power to do anything, and I don't want to march. I'm not marching. Like I'm just making it to the next day, and yeah. And
So what
there's
are you gonna replace politics with?
probably comedy. Comedy's where it's at. I replaced religion with comedy. That's kind of what I did. That's
Yeah.
more my church than anything. So then, yeah.
Huh.
And I think the politics that do come to me is usually done by who can say the funniest thing by it, in a sense. Maybe
Yeah.
that's like who has the most biting piece of material. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's why Democrats did so well. I think, in my opinion, was because of like Jon Stewart and whatever
Stephen
Colbert. Yeah, yeah,
Colbert.
Colbert and all the even Trevor Noah. I but and I also think that's why the left worked so hard in censoring comedy because they realized how powerful it was because they grew with Jon Stewart and all those people, and then
Yeah.
where it's like they realized the power that it was kind of
So
deal.
you just try to find the humor in politics as much as
I don't even
possible.
fuck with politics the most. Well, if
Yeah.
I ever got
But if you
money
were
and
to,
stuff, yeah, and I have my opinions like on like subtler, more personal stuff, but I'm not going to be up there being like abortion's wrong or abortion's right or like unless I'm doing something like the little funny abuse that I'm doing on stage, like
yeah.
I'm not trying to make huge points like that.
Huh. Well, what do you think about people that are into politics? Do you think it's possible to be into politics and just be a happy person?
I mean, happy person's a loaded question. I would say people that are into politics, it's just there's nothing. Well, I do think we got to stop putting humor into politics. I mean, stand up comics fine, but like that
Donald Trump.
no, and he's funny. I'm not
So what do you
denying that.
mean?
But no, but he should stop doing like all of them should stop doing jokes.
No comedy. That's
Yes.
cheating.
Yes. Yeah, it
It's like a
should be.
performance enhancing drug.
Oh, 100%. And it makes him relevant and
Did I
stuff.
detect a smirk, Bobdle?
But
You
then
are
it's But
disqualified.
then as like Trump and like because other politicians are trying to be being humorous. Not a lot of them are good at it, but they're trying to be. And then that's why I felt like the comedy was getting so political. It's like the roles reversed, where we were looking at politicians for entertainment, and we are looking at comedians for guidance through the world. Where it's like it needs to be the politicians uh, grouping us up and keeping us together, and then the comedians are the ones that are like we're the fucking dredges of society. Like we're not supposed to be
We're supposed
lifted
to
up.
provide cheap thrills
Yes, in my opinion.
and
Yeah, yeah.
not
And there was a
biting
and
commentary.
there was a place for that. Like again, I love Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert and stuff. They were amazing. But it's like
George Carlin, Bill Hicks.
sure, yes. Well, even that was like it's really Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart that I not blame, but like
It made it
see.
more real because they weren't just doing comedy. They weren't putting out specials. They were doing like a news show
Yes.
and trying to influence
Yeah.
things.
George Carlin, yeah, he was doing the same thing, but that was like a special and stuff, and
Yeah,
that was cool as shit. You know,
yeah,
granted, it doesn't. I mean, it keeps actually coming back to reapply because I'll see like old George. People will clip his old clips at a certain moment in time because something's going off, and then
yeah.
you'll be like, yeah, that's still happening right now, and then
Yeah.
it
They
ebbs and
own
flows.
us.
Yeah,
We are owned.
a little bit.
But
Well,
yeah,
what
I
do
mean, I
you
think,
feel owned? You still feel like
yeah, I
a
mean,
slave to society and
we're all
stuff?
a part of it.
All right.
I
That does not make
mean,
me feel better because you're
it's,
doing pretty well.
well,
Where it's
thank you,
like,
man. I mean, I do make money independently now,
sure,
and people come out to see me, and I'm glad that, like I get to make money off of like people choosing to pay me money and
yeah,
not like a corporation that does some random shit and profits and then gives me some of it.
sure, sure.
But I am entertaining people that are doing that from a corporation doing whatever. So I'm like, I'm not even like first level. Like I'm like the least stable I'm the first to go if there's
Yeah.
anything that happens.
You're not in the bottom of society, but you're in the bottom of the machine society in
It's
a
like
sense.
a peacock's feather. Like I'm like the little floofy little thing on top. Like look what we can do.
The little eye, little on the
Yeah.
feather. Yeah, yeah.
It's like not very useful, but it's cool that I can
People like
do it.
looking at it.
People want that job. Like that's a desirable thing.
Sure.
I mean, I have it and I don't really enjoy it all the time
Yeah, I get
because
that.
of the negative backlash,
Wait, what? You get negative back?
but
People are mean to you?
yeah, I mean, overall it's like a very luxurious or cool thing to do, but it's not like I don't feel like
Pressure.
that we're in a fucked up society and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're in a society like that, that's you're not gonna feel great even if you
Succeed.
are, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's
I
the pressure
just
feel like? Is it just like, do you just like stay up late, like racing thoughts, or is it just like a whole blah throughout the day? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it, you get what I'm asking?
Well, like the pressure would come in terms of what to write or what to think of next or what to joke about next.
Sure.
So that pressure feels like constant
Like
back of
dread.
my head,
Yeah.
just like a weight, like a axe
Yeah.
above my head. No, not an axe above my head.
No, that sounds a lot.
It's just like a weight, just like having to think of things all the time and being like every moment I'm like, is this a good thought? Is that a good thought?
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good to relax and do other things.
I can imagine what that's like in a
Well, you do
smaller.
comedy.
Well, I'm saying in
It's the same thing.
but yours is like on steroids.
Well,
You know what
obviously,
I'm? Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Like mine's
not
yeah.
that strong.
No.
Yeah, I can turn it off pretty
Okay.
easily. I want to turn it on though.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be in comedy mode and mine every second of my life to turn into bits.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's
But
like
wouldn't that be better if you
y-
could just like
it,
every second you come up with something new and
no,
just
no,
have
because
all this new
that's working out.
material?
That's working out 24 hours a day. Bodybuilders don't do that. You know what I mean? They have their rest days.
Yeah, but
You need to live life.
the
You know what I'm saying?
best train twice the better the more you train, the better you're gonna get.
To a degree, and then I think it's
I think
diminishing returns.
that degree can be trained. You can work on increasing that.
No, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, but I think all day because my thing is I've been in comedy mode where then it's like I'm burned out. I don't know what funny is
Yeah.
anymore and stuff, and it's just
You
like
gotta relax and have
yeah.
fun because if you're not having fun, that's not funny.
And then your personality on stage is a lot like
Drudgery
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
work.
yeah.
It's not a person that's having fun with their life.
No, I think people want to see you have fun.
Thank you. I
I'm
hope
not
they
one of
do.
those people. I'm not one of those
Oh,
people.
you're
No,
a Rick Diaz fan?
no, no, no. He's nice, but no. Yeah,
He's not nice to
you.
certain people.
Yeah.
He unfollows people that make him bark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, he shouldn't be above that. You know what I mean? Like I
I
get
mean,
he should bark.
you don't have to bark,
No, you don't.
but you don't have to unfollow someone
Also true.
because they
Yeah,
asked you
yeah,
to
yeah.
bark.
That's not that. That's
Maybe they just didn't know.
even if they did, man. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm above it, but it's like I've been doing this for 8 years. I shouldn't be barking, but I'll
Yeah.
bark. Yeah, I'll
You don't
fucking
have to bark.
yeah. I shouldn't have to. Yeah, I'm
You,
a decent enough
I mean,
comic. I should.
I mean, for your own show, that's like,
That's a little different because it's my
yeah,
show.
that's
Then it's
like the
like
owner of the restaurant
that's very true.
handing out free samples.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, buddy, come over here. You got
You
to.
want to hear a tiny joke?
This place is 7-Eleven, not 9-11. Yeah, fucking shit like that.
It's so funny that
Water is
like
good. Ice as much
Indian
ice as you want.
people and like people from like the subcontinent of India, like they do a lot of the terrorism things.
No.
It's funny.
What?
I
From
mean,
India?
jokes. They do. Like you just said
Oh,
7-Eleven,
yeah.
9/11.
Yes, 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 yes,
It's
yes.
like I guess kind of because you guys look similar, but not really because
We're
India
not.
doesn't really do terrorism
No.
to America. They
Yeah.
do it to each other, to
Yes.
Pakistan and
Yes. All of that's true.
Kashmir,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's probably started some shit, but
Tamil Tigers.
I mean, Muslims tend to be, fucking a little
You
out
know
there
how Muslims
sometimes.
get?
So not all of them,
They're
but
angry. Why
the
are they so
couple, yeah.
angry?
Well, they're fighting with everybody: Christians, Jews, Hindus. I don't
Hindus,
know.
Buddhists, probably.
I'm sure they're fighting with Scientologists, but
They're
Scientologists are
fighting
probably like
China, whatever religion China is.
The Uyghurs or whatever.
Uyghurs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forget
Yeah, they
what.
got an indigenous population of Uyghurs in China.
Yeah,
It's listening to Limp Bizkit.
probably. Yeah, is that Uyghur stuff? Fucking Limp Bizkit.
You don't think so?
I was thinking
I
more
guess that's more white, just white,
like
white.
punk. Yeah,
Uyghur
yeah.
would be like
Oh,
Eminem or
sure. Yes,
black
yes.
people like
Yeah.
music. From the 90s or 2000s, because Uyghurs aren't really a thing anymore.
No. Now they're. I wonder what they evolved into because like
Chet Hanks,
Chet Hanks. Sure. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
the Jamaican.
Post Malone. Fucking. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he's
It's
Post Malone.
It's
He's
post Wigger.
after all
Yeah.
the Malones.
He's from Dallas.
Nice.
Just saying. All the big
Yeah.
rappers from Dallas are white. It's Vanilla Ice, and Post Malone. Yeah, which is sad because Dallas has a pretty good rap scene.
Interesting.
Houston too.
Do you think black comics are more talented than
No,
the other comics?
definitely not. Subhuman. No, no. They're different. It's weird how people try to act like race isn't a thing, but it's like it's a fucking thing.
I think black people that are good at comedy just know it faster and do it more, and people because there's some bad black comics
Sure. Yeah.
and a lot of them drop off.
So maybe that's just is what happens faster.
But
I
there are
think
some amazing black comics.
100%. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. We were
Yeah.
talking about this
I think on
yesterday.
average
Yeah.
there's more great black. I think because they also have a culture of it. They grew up with Eddie Murphy and
Sure.
Richard Pryor.
There are black
I didn't
clubs.
have an Asian
No Asian
Eddie
clubs.
Murphy, no Indian Eddie
No.
Murphy.
Russell Peters a bit, but that's not,
That's
that's
way later.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I just think black comics are some of the best, and like I love the culture that they have, like Def Jam and all that.
That's yeah. The Apollo.
I
Yeah.
mean, black people are like the black people in NBA. I think it's the same in comedy.
It's mainly black.
It's like
Yeah, there's just like one Asian guy and fucking I don't think there's an Indian guy in basketball yet. So, one day. One day.
that's gonna happen.
We'll see. I don't
You guys
yeah.
aren't short.
No, that's I mean, overall, it's like I think it's a statistic thing. Once you get to a billion, it starts You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's of course tall Indian people, tall Asian people, but
Yeah,
yeah, you breed that much, it just monoculture kind of shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
They get better and better, or
That's
worse and
one way to say
worse.
that. Yeah, that's one way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if better. Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you want to do now? It's 7.
Um, I'm fine with whatever. You got your show,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I was gonna hit up the mics and stuff down there. That was pretty much it.
I don't think we have to leave now. You want to do 30 more minutes?
Yeah. You got like it's a live chat. What are the fucking comments at all? You ever read those?
Yeah. Great job. You're doing great.
Who's that to? Just us.
Hans, uh,
Do you talk to your fans a lot?
um, not really.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Yeah, people are like talking about the battle.
Oh, nice.
They're like, why don't you prepare more? I was like, I thought those were good jokes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so that's why I don't even like roast battles either, because like sometimes I'll have like 10 jokes. I'm like, I don't know which one, and then the ones I think work, because there's no open mic to it. You know what I'm saying?
Roast battles.
Yeah, you were figuring it
I
out.
was doing those bits. You heard me do those bits in
Um,
Hyenas?
the toilet seat one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I do remember doing that. It was working. It worked. It
Yeah.
worked that night.
You think so?
Yeah,
New Year's Eve?
yeah,
It
yeah.
didn't work online.
Nice,
Yeah, they're
nice.
really angry. I think they're a little overreacting, but I
I think they see
wasn't
blood.
happy with that set either.
Eh.
I was just sort of like
I
going through
couldn't
the
really watch
motion.
because they threw me in the back by this, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, it was just they kind of ruined the show for me in that sense.
Yeah.
So it was
Well,
just
I
something.
feel like the bit didn't go over the way that I wanted it to, and I didn't feel it in the arena. Like I didn't feel like saying that joke. I didn't feel like I delivered it well.
Did you want to change it to something, or were you
Yeah.
just like,
I
I
wanted
need to
to
get?
change it to something, but I literally didn't have any other jokes that I could do.
Hmm.
Like I was trapped in a corner. And I wish I could have called an audible, but yeah, those are the jokes that I fucking chose 2 months before. I was like,
Sure.
this will be good.
Sure. Sure.
Take this home and pack it in your bag and
Yeah.
take it to you on New Year's Eve. And then I'm like doing this joke that I thought would be funny 2 months ago. And I'm like, well, the best I can do is just do it the best I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just
I
fucking,
mean, you that pressure is even weirder because it's like you pretty much have everything to lose and nothing to gain. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
you
I
win, it's
mean,
not like you get money or you just get to stay on the show
yeah,
you've
I
been
won
on.
and look what happened.
Yeah, true,
I almost wish I
true,
could have
true.
lost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, why do you cheer for me and then shit all over me? If you
Oh,
don't
that's the crowd.
want,
That's
yeah,
society,
like, come
though.
on,
Yeah, yeah. That's
make up your
mobs.
mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you wanted me to lose, you should have let me lose. Don't
yeah.
cheer for me, bring me up just so you can fucking shit
I
all over me.
I booed for you, dude. I
Thank
was
you, man. At least you're honest.
no,
At
I
least you're
didn't.
giving me the true signal.
No, I'm really not. I'm not. I didn't do anything. I was just surprised I was back there. That was more my
Because they were
fault.
doing the $10,000 thing.
They didn't tell us that.
They were just like, come on, come on.
Yeah, they're like, stay here, sit here, do not move. And then, I mean, they were like, you can move, but they're like,
Did
if
you
you
hear
move, they're
anything?
gonna harass you. I heard, no, I heard, but then it's like I couldn't see any reactions or anything.
But
Like,
you heard.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And no, I thought it was, to be honest, pretty even. Like the laughs of who won. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't
During
even
the
remember
set.
Rick Diaz's uh,
Yeah.
jokes or anything like that.
You just
Yeah,
remember the reaction.
and that's usually how I operate for
Yeah,
the
I
most
think
part.
the internet is sort of
Cruel and
gone
unusual
off
and
the deep end.
sure, sure,
But,
sure.
you know,
That's also because of the place you play in, though. You know what I mean?
I think they're sick of me. I think that I have been not doing the best on Kill Tony recently, so all that
Yeah.
pent up rage, I think it came out.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because I had a white girlfriend
Sure. Spoiled
who
you.
was just taking up so much time.
Okay.
And it's not like her fault. She
No,
likes
of
me. She
course
wants
not.
to hang out with me. I just needed to set stricter boundaries, and I just couldn't.
I get that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that took a lot of time away.
those white women will take all the boundaries, dude.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't care about any boundaries. They'll
They
plant
will.
a flag
They
anywhere
want,
they
yeah,
want.
they want to be like attached to you a little bit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I have
I
gotten
mean,
that.
they want the full boyfriend experience. They're not signing up for a half part-time boyfriend. If they're gonna have a boyfriend,
I think that's the full boyfriend experience. The
is
full.
not being there.
Sometimes, yeah, you're supposed to have your own
Yeah.
lives. I mean, I'm not speaking on your relationship, but like
I
mine,
felt like
yeah,
we had a lot of time apart.
that's good. No, then that is.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know. I feel like if you have a best friend, you're not like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you
He's your
today.
best
I
friend.
need no, but it's like a guy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you have someone you like hanging out with, why would you be like, no? I think some relationships are like, oh, you're my girlfriend, and you provide this very specific role,
sure,
and then hanging out, I don't need that role fulfilled. It actually gets in the way of what I want to do
sure.
with the boys.
Yeah,
But I think ideally you'd be able to incorporate everyone in your life together and meld all their energy.
yeah. Keywords ideally. Humans are complicated puzzle pieces that
Okay, I
shit.
know what humans are.
Yeah, I know, but like, yeah, I would love for my good guy friends to hang out with my good girlfriend, but then sometimes they don't get along or whatever, and then it's
Yeah.
just like, it's you only get, back to being like a happy person. I don't think there's a happy person. I just think there's like fleeting moments of happiness.
Yeah.
When I did the
It's
Kill
not a
Tony thing,
general
I didn't
thing.
feel that happy afterwards. I didn't feel bad, but I just kind of felt a little empty. Where I was like,
You're
okay,
like, I did it.
yeah, kind of. And it was such a weird one to
You had a
do
great
too.
set
I'm not good with the compliments, but yeah. People I also got booed I've been telling people I've gotten more boos than they've gotten laughs now because of that.
of all the people that were.
Wouldn't me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I felt like there was a lot of setup that you didn't need for that one, but
For the guitar?
no, for the joke.
Are you talking about the Indian one?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But dude, I was not prepared for that. the Kill Tony. I just was going there because Kenzie was going there. And I was like, I'll just watch the show, whatever. And
You
yeah,
got called.
yeah, it was 100% survival mode. When I was up on stage, dude, I was kind of seeing double vision. Like my adrenaline was pumping through the roof, where I was just like, "Duh," and then
Did you look out at the crowd?
I had to tell myself 3, 4 times, be like, scan do the thing. Like, don't just look at the ground or whatever. Like, make sure you're making eye contact with these people while I'm doing it. It was 100% survival mode.
So did you like make eye contact and take a survey of the crowd and try
Yes.
to like make it a normal room?
Yes. No, 100%. It was all the stuff that I've trained for in the past, whatever, I mean,
Yeah.
not trained, but, all the gigs I've done in the past 8 years that it was, it's,
Putting you
ins-
in the moment
it's insane to put somebody up for their first time in
in an
front of, I'm
arena.
not saying me, but like some of those comics where it was just like, whoa, there's nothing good that come out. Either they get booed the fuck out of and then they're like, holy shit, or they kill, which is great. But then they have to go
Everything
back
else.
then they have to go back to like or maybe they decide to start doing open mic comedy, and then it's like, bro, like you're gonna have a lot of these two people in a room that you sit in for 3 hours to do
Yeah, and then you
compared to
write
that.
all your bits for arenas and it
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
work for open
Yeah,
mics.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You go up there like, "What's up,
Yeah.
Austin?" Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys feeling ready tonight? Yeah, yeah. Instead, it's just the buddy you came with and some person that doesn't want to leave the bar. Like
Yeah, I mean, so you get called up. Do they come pick you up out of the crowd and then they
Well,
bring you down
Tony
right away?
Tony said my name wrong, or at least the last name
Yeah.
wrong, where I was like, I don't think that's me. And then I was like 2 times, I was like, no, that has to be me.
So he
There's
didn't
no,
even pre-pull it. He just was like pulling it live, and then you
I
had to
believe
go
so.
down there.
Yeah,
Did you run?
moved, I walked fast.
That's the
Yeah,
big mistake is you should never run because then you get to the stage and you're
yeah,
out
out of
of
breath.
breath. That's what
That's a
happened to
solid
me
point.
my first
Okay,
time at
okay.
Kill Tony.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh no, I don't want to make everyone wait, but you gotta make them wait.
No, they made me wait when I got up there. So
Yeah,
like I had to sit in the back, and some guy was using some lights to like hold me back. And then yeah, nobody told me anything, dude. It was fucking chaos.
yeah.
And you know what? I think I can handle, or I don't know. I think I can handle an 8,000 crowd room if I have some fucking heads up. Like this is going from like sitting in my seat, being like, "Oh, this is an interesting show," or actually, I was really cool to see Shane and Matt there and being like, "Oh, that's fucking awesome," to being like, "Oh crap, I gotta fucking do stand up," and I'm like, "Oh God, yeah,
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about this show. It's not you're not just
bro,
like getting ready for your big moment. You're just pulled out and
yes,
then it's like, what?
yes, yes." Where I was just like, "Holy shit, dude." You want to hear a funny story about that though?
Yeah.
So my friend was with me. I'm gonna say his name, Tony Campion, and he supposedly got pulled after me. So he was supposed to go up after me because they were
Yeah.
looking for him. They pulled it and they're like, "Oh, here you go," and fucking he wasn't there. So then that guy with the broken dick ended up going up. So if Tony was
Well,
there,
his son, right? His son went up and then
yes, yes. So that guy wouldn't have gone up. So
yeah.
that means the $10,000 wouldn't have gone to him because he would have never been on stage. So it probably would have been me. Tony's a pretty good comic, or that first guy that would have won the $10,000. So that's 2 out of 3.
Well, who knows
So I've
how
been blaming.
probability
No,
works.
I know, I know. I like blaming Tony. I say Tony owes me $10,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Could have made
what
the show shittier.
he does do that too.
I
He does
mean,
do.
I'm not saying he would have made it shit. I'm saying like that guy not being there
He did
would have
do
made the
well.
show
Yeah,
shittier.
yeah. His broken dick, fucking,
Yeah.
yeah. I should have shown my dick, dude. I didn't
Save
know that
his
was an
interview.
option. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Are
thought they
you
were a duo because they came off stage and they were together, and I was like, I didn't, because again, I couldn't watch the show really. Like I heard stuff, but it's like it's not the
yeah.
same. And
Well, it'll
then
come out in a couple weeks now.
I'm already, I don't know,
You're not excited?
I don't know. I mean, the set went well and everything. Interview went pretty well, and then the booing at the end with the guitar and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's actually more what I'm looking forward to, just seeing how that looks on video. Me getting booed by that many people. Yeah.
You have like a strange fascination with
I don't mind getting
negativity.
booed. I mean, I didn't fully enjoy that because it was unexpected, but
Yeah,
a couple boos is not. I'm not sensitive about that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thought it was a crazy experience.
It is. That was.
It's such a great show for an arena because you got so many crazy things happening.
True.
People coming out, Mr. Beast, fucking
True.
competitions,
True. No, that was like a rock show.
Dr. Phil.
He killed. I had to
Yeah.
follow him. That's the guy I had to fucking follow to, and he fucking Adam Ray fucking destroyed, and I was like, "Jeez, yeah,
Yeah, and in a normal stand-up show, it's like they're already so excited. You just make them
yeah,
slightly more excited.
yeah, yeah."
But yeah, I
No, it was
mean,
electric.
stand-up is amazing in arenas too. I think
It
it's
was
just a
interesting.
different thing.
I was a little like I'm not against doing it, but I like a comedy club. I like tops three, five, 600 people. Not that I've done that, so it's only been like 300 to 400 to the next jump is that arena. So I
Yeah.
haven't had anything in between. But I like being able to like interact with the front crowd where the back crowd can still listen. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, it's like, and I'm fine with like repeating what they say, and I know how to do that with crowd work and stuff. But it's like I like that intimacy of
It's more
two.
real.
Um.
You're in a
Yeah.
room
Yeah. Yeah.
full
Yeah.
of people. It's
Yeah.
not like you're elevated and you're shiny and
Yes.
glittering.
And people just want to hear me say my stuff and then yeah, move on kind of deal.
Yeah.
I really like the interaction in stand up. That's a big part of my stuff at least.
Yeah.
And it saves a lot of my jokes half the time too. So maybe that's part of the reason. Because if a joke fails, I can always go to the audience and manage a save most of the
Yeah,
time.
you can talk to them. You
Yeah.
can be like a human. But if you start talking in like a giant place, they'll be like, "Why are you talking to this specific
Yeah, 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 yeah.
person?" It doesn't feel like you're connected to that person.
No, 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 no.
So it's hard to feel engaged.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole comedy mothership, comedy club?
Shithole, right? I think we can agree on that. Yeah. Worst
Yeah.
thing that's ever happened to comedy.
I
Joe Rogan's been touching me sexually every time I'm there. No.
I think it's a great place. I
Yeah.
think the crowds there are so good that it
Yeah.
spoils me for every other crowd.
I did the open mic on Sunday, and yeah. Oh, dude, the open mic's amazing. I can't even imagine what like the cruise show's like because I the lights are dimmed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which changes things. It's funny how that can change the environment just
Yeah.
like that. But
Because when
yeah,
people know that you're looking at their face,
yeah,
they are
more like
like, yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
scared.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like them scared. It's good. It's good when they're scared, dude. Fucking
Yeah. Like scaring them too.
yeah, dude. Showing my start showing my dick, man. I'm gonna just start showing my dick. I think that's the missing
That's like
ingredient.
such a go-to. It's like whenever anything is happening, I'm just like, I could just do that right now.
Sure.
Like, but you don't want to do that
No,
unless
you
you
gotta
know you
save
don't
it
want
up.
to go to that all the
No,
time.
no, no. You can't be the Burt Kreischer of fucking dick
Dicks.
showing.
The Burt Kreischer
Yeah,
of
yeah,
dicks.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like
So do you think
it's
you're
so
doing
funny
good?
because it's
So do you,
threatening.
do you are you feeling good right now? Are you just like in a uh like bit of a weird spot, or you just like go back to basics, or
I mean,
do you have feelings?
I think that if you're gonna ask me about my feelings, um, I don't know. It's just like some people are open to talking about their feelings,
Fair,
and I
fair
think
enough.
like they don't mind telling people. But I guess I'm more introverted and I don't like.
That's yeah. Well, that's
I mean, hopefully you could sense how I feel just by talking to me. We don't have to like make it explicit.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're a hard person to read.
Well, I
I d-
think you're more emotionally outgoing than me.
sure. Yeah. That means I think I should be able to read you better because
Well, I feel
I'm a
good.
little
I feel good when I'm like doing like stuff like this because I feel
okay.
like this is helpful in practice.
Sure.
I feel good when I'm doing sets.
I mean, that's, you're pretty much the same as me then. That's
Last
about it.
night wasn't my best night, but
For
I've had some
the,
sets recently that made me feel better. And they're
yeah,
like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They're idiots
sure.
online.
No,
So like
they
doing
are
doing
idiots.
real sets really helps with that.
Yeah.
That's why I love stand-up comedy. It's like it doesn't matter what's happening online. When you're in a room,
That's all that matters.
in front of an audience. They don't want you to fail.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
don't want to have a bad time. They
No,
want to see good comedy, even if they hate your guts,
true.
because it's just like a better use of their time.
Yeah, yeah,
And they've seen, people not do good comedy. They don't want that again.
yeah.
They're like, "Oh, please, if you could do well,
That would
I
make.
will give you
Yeah,
the laughs that you need."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't ever feel like they're biased against me, and I feel like pretty confident
So
that
the
they're gonna
stand up's
handle
kind
it.
of saving you a little bit, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, that's the only thing helping me.
also got me into this mess, but
Yes, true. It's a double. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Mhm.
And it's like you got to keep growing
And
for the
that's the
most part.
thing. I'm a comic. Like you
Yeah.
can't take that away from. I might not be your favorite comic, and I might not do well, but I um I think I do well in certain situations and certain settings. And 1 minute, uh, I don't think my autism is very endearing. In a minute, I think maybe you have to work up to it or
Oh,
something.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
I also think like there's a lot of holes in my game that are exposed in that minute. Like I'm unlikable, I come off
That's
as
not
cocky or whatever.
sometimes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think you're
So,
unlikable though.
well, that's like a harsh thing way to put it, but it's like at some points everyone is
Sure.
unlikable.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel unlikable a lot too. So when you say things like, where I'm like, oh, that, I mean, that is also true. Where it's like, I feel like I have to remind myself that sometimes going up on stage, and in a sense, that's why sometimes the open mics are bad because it's like you just assume nobody wants to listen, and then you go to real shows and everybody's like, "Well, we're fucking yeah, we're
Yeah.
on your side,
We're
dude. Yeah,
listening.
yeah,
Stop
yeah,
yelling at
yeah,
us.
yeah."
Now
So it's
tell us what you want to say.
yeah,
It's like so many of open mics, you're just trying to get their attention.
dude, anything. So then it becomes shock value shit a lot
Yeah.
and whatnot, or little tricks, or you know,
Hey, you hear about this?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think comedy is great. There's so many different ways to do it. You can never just figure it out.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a big proponent about comedy classes. I hate
You
those.
don't like people telling you what to do.
No, it's more the money aspect of it. Please do your comedy classes, but do it for free or at least a fucking,
At a community college.
yeah, yeah,
Do it for the community.
yeah. That I can respect, but then instead I see these classes and they're like $500 for like 8 weeks, and then it's just like, okay, that's too long of a class and too much of a class. You know what a comedy class I think should be? It should honestly be obviously a really good comic, just going to open mics with brand new comics. Like
Yeah.
just going to like 8 weeks of open mics with them and then not telling them what to do, but being like, you could take that joke here, you could take that joke here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like
It's
teach
so
them that.
tricky to do that though, because you don't want to just be like, dude, you need to stop saying that, put that up
Yes.
front, put that in the back, because then you're just doing it for them.
Yes.
I think the tricky thing is like to give them one piece of advice that's gonna change everything else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just mean like suggestions, not even telling them.
I wasn't
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
example is
I'm not
bad or
saying like
whatever.
write the you need to
I'm
hump the
just like,
stool
yeah,
right
it's so
here.
hard to do. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even want to start because then it's like, what if you ruin this person? Like,
I mean, some of them aren't going to be funny no matter what. So that's the weird part where then you're like,
so what do you think funny is when you're
uh,
on stage? Is it like an awareness of the room and to
I think
use
it,
your
I
voice
mean,
and create an energy?
you can write like someone can do someone else's act and be funny, but then to keep going with it and being able to create with it, I think it just you have to have a bit of a uh an oddity to what mainstream society likes. Like I think you have to be an outsider, and then that outsider shines out of you because it resonates with mainstream society for whatever reason that it does.
Yeah, and
So
they
I'm not saying like you
reflect a
have to be
part of
damaged, but
mainstream
most
society to them.
saying,
They reflect a part of mainline society to them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Same reason why people like seeing animals act like humans. You know what I'm saying? That's almost what it is. It's seeing an outsider that's not in acting like them, and you're like, that guy's as human as us, kind
I
of deal.
think it could be like a guy or a girl going up on stage and being like, "Hey, look what I noticed," and being like,
So we're saying like Jerry Seinfeld there. I'm assuming he kind of was an outsider originally, and then
"Yeah,
he just blew the fuck up too fast.
Well, I feel like it's a person being like in a room of people, um, changing the energy to be one of bringing them to a place where they're like, okay, now I'm walking my dog in front of my apartment, and this guy comes up, and then he says something crazy, and it's like I guess being able to bring them to a scenario and then do portray an action that like shocks them or like is unexpected or
Surprise. Yeah.
is informative.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that guy thinking like that though is an outsider in a sense. I still like because I'm not saying you have to be damaged, but if you're on the outside of society, you tend to get damaged. So
Yeah.
then it's like, yeah, it's usually damaged people at the end of the day. But if you're just on the outside, the fringes of society, I think that's where the comedy comes from. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's taking the energy of the room and your energy and melding it together to create a different perspective finding machine.
Mhm.
So you're using
And you think
the
that like
energy in
a
the room.
regular Joe Schmo could do that
Um,
in a
I think it
sense.
helps if you're aware of the energy in the room, and some people are more aware of it than not.
Sure, sure. I would say that's a skill,
Yeah.
right? It's
But
kind of
there
like,
are some things you could say that will automatically get a laugh.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Like just
you know,
one-liners. Some people can just, but then the guys that write these one-liners tend to be isolated motherfuckers that are like
but
not
even
talking to
then,
anybody.
they have to manage their emotion to not come off wrong. Like,
True.
if you
True,
say
true,
a
true.
one-liner angry, it's gonna get a
I'm with
different
you. I'm with
reaction.
you. Yeah. And
So
no, and
they're
that's a
still
problem.
controlling the energy of the room with their energy, with
Yeah.
their voice.
A lot of those outsiders that are funny still won't be able to make it because of personal problems or whatever, which though I think happen because they're on the outside of society. They don't really have that comfort and safety that you
Well,
have when
who's
you're
on the inside of society? Doesn't everyone feel
well,
like they're on the outside?
no, that's no, that
Like
doesn't.
everyone has a different perspective on the thing.
True. I yeah, and everybody can feel like an outsider. I'm not saying that, but people that aren't invited to parties or people that aren't included in the group.
So
That's.
you're saying Matt Rife can't be funny because he's invited to parties?
I mean, is man, what is that for? Like he's got some jokes.
Well,
He's got some jokes, and his jokes that he
he
got
can
canceled
be
for
funny.
are bullshit. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
that bad of a joke, but I get it turning on your base like that. But yeah, yeah, he's not. This is what I'm saying. It's like you can say words in a scripted way that you know. Matt Rife is charming. Like he is funny, but he's more charming than funny. I think, which
Yeah.
is fine. I'm not hating on him at all. I kind of I'm interested to see what happens with him now that he
Yeah.
did this. Like I'm fascinated with this dude where it's like you had your shit for you. You wanted to be a comedian. Let's fucking. I mean, you technically are, but I'm saying like let's find out, man. Let's see what you can do now that you're on the shit list for at least women. And I don't think he got the support from guys that he was expecting from doing that. So it kind of like he lost his fan base and didn't really gain men's fan base or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that calculated, but I'm sure somewhere in
Sure.
the back of his mind
It
that
was
was
his
his
first joke. I'm
thought
sure that wasn't.
process.
I'm sure he was like, "This is an easy, dark joke. It's not that offensive." I mean, some people disagree. And then I saw a special, and I was like, "All right, that he got his laughs." I think he was just trying to set the tone to be like, "Hey, Granted, his fucking ending was just
I didn't
so
see the whole
corny.
thing.
I no, and that's fair. That's fair. His ending was corny in the sense where he's like, "Oh, you guys just think I'm a crowd work comic," and then he drops the mic, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's not."
He's trying to
You missed.
reinvent his
Yeah,
ending. He's like not happy with
yeah,
what got him success.
yeah, yeah. He's trying, which I relate to. That must be hard to just be like, "Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
bang women all the time." What a
I'm more
fucking
than this.
oh, what a
I
hard
want to
life.
bang dudes too.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I get it. I totally get
I
it.
totally get wanting to bang dudes.
He's
Said
climbed the
Shiva.
mountain that is women, and now is trying to go into the fucking canyon that is men's
Men
buttholes.
butts.
Yes,
I
yes.
think he is great. I think that just because you're invited to parties doesn't mean you can't be funny. I think it's harder to be funny
Okay.
because you don't have to be funny
Yeah.
if you're already satisfied and happy. You just have to enjoy.
True.
But when you are on the outside, I think it's easier to be funny because you need it, because you can't produce,
Oh.
wealth or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
parties.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
just have to do it with your little brain.
Okay, I take offense to that.
I
It's a
mean, not
pretty big. It's
little.
a pretty big brain.
Just the fact that you have to do it with a brain at
Yes.
all is sad. You should
Yeah.
be able to do it with like a forklift and a motorboat.
Sure. No, but that's what happens. The comics that make it closer and closer into society get those resources and that money that then they can
Then they
do
turn
that.
soft.
Some of them do. Some of them triple
Don't.
down. Yeah, some of them are able to get through. I mean, it's fucking like
Funny
seeds.
is so weird of a thing to pursue.
Yes.
It's fleeting. It
Yes.
doesn't exist.
Also why I like it cuz there's no
And it
meaning to
depends
it.
on the room.
Yeah. 100%.
It's
And
just
the
like
audience,
it's a crazy thing to like stake your career and life on like this.
the fact that we've both have murdered where it's just like fucking chaos is amazing. It shouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be happening.
That's I like listen to recordings. I'm like, oh, the audience is just being nice to me. But that's like a part of comedy is like
Sure.
getting the audience to be nice to you.
You might be overthinking that a little bit though.
Yeah.
I don't think they're being. I'm sure if they didn't want to laugh, they wouldn't.
Well,
They
they are being
wouldn't.
nice to me, but what's wrong with being nice to me?
No, also true, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it is sort of like you want to earn it. You don't want to just like
I
have
get
them
what you're
just
saying. No,
laugh.
no, I get what you're saying on that. Yeah, because if they laugh at a really stupid joke of mine, I'll sometimes turn on the audience and be like, "You guys are idiots. Like, you shouldn't have given me that much." And that sometimes worked in my favor, and sometimes it's backlash. But then they're like, "All right, we're not going to laugh at your jokes as much," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ah, I
Have you
fucked it
ever
up."
done that thing where there's a person that's laughing weird and then you point it out and that ruins the set?
Yeah, sure,
I did that stupid
sure.
show.
You gotta, there's a line on that. Yeah, you can point it out, but then, yeah, yeah. And then they just stop laughing after that. They're just like uncomfortable. And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have to point it out, but it is so distracting when they're
Yes, it
doing
is.
that, and they have to know because everyone is silent and they're like making weird noises.
Yeah.
It's like you're being weird. Like now you're making me call you out.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't help it. Maybe that's what the
They
whole
can't help it. They
audience should
can't
be
help.
doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes they're just laughing at premises and shit just because they
They're
think
having,
it's funny.
yeah.
Like, oh look, this guy's still up there talking about butts and poop and
Yeah.
shit, and they can't help it but to
No.
laugh. But it's like it kind of fucks it because everyone's like, whoa, that guy's
Yeah, yeah.
it doesn't make
Yeah.
it look cool.
Wow, but it's fun though. Yeah, it's not cool, but it's like
That's what it is.
that guy's enjoying
That's
himself.
the peak of comedy
Yeah.
is some cackling hyena,
Yeah.
and that's what we're all trying to get to in a
Some
comedy
some
club.
snorting and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and we
Yeah.
all don't want to admit it.
No,
We don't want to be like, I
oh.
want to be like that guy. We're like, I'm more
Oh,
sophisticated.
yeah,
But
because
it's
I
like
don't
that
laugh.
is the
I don't
goal.
laugh a lot in comedy clubs. The only times, yeah,
Well, you're a comedian.
I know, but I want to go back to why I got
Laughing.
into this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I laugh
I didn't
amongst
even
other
go to
things.
comedy clubs before I started comedy.
Me neither. I watched a lot.
I was just like, yeah, I want to do the TV thing. I want to be
You never
famous.
watched? You never watched?
No, I did. I'm
Okay,
saying
okay, okay.
that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
to be famous more than I wanted to talk to people in a room. And then I'm
You can still do that.
doing that. I'm like, oh shit, this is what I actually love.
Oh, nice. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
because I
interesting.
was like always like in class. That's the format.
Yeah,
Person talking and students. In church, I went to church, pastor and students. So I'm used to that format,
yeah.
and I want to go up there and be like, "Hey,
You want to be the priest?
poopy
Yeah,
butthole."
yeah, yeah.
To have that power and to use it for nothing, I think is like so funny. That's what you should
That
use
is
power
funny.
for.
Nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
it's
agree.
too much power to have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna use this to like make fun of myself," then it's like, okay,
Using the power,
that's fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I still like making fun of other people, but yeah, it's like I don't want to be one of those guys who's got to use the power respectfully, but then it's like, for me, I'm trying to a little bit, but at the end of the day, this is meaningless. So it's like don't give me don't give me too much grief if I fuck up, because this is just in the moment, and that's it. Which is
Yeah.
why I love it.
Trying to make you laugh.
Yeah, usually I'm pretty bad with that, but
Yeah, but it's like, why do I want you to laugh? Because it's good for my career. It's not like totally
See, that is where it
altruistic.
gets weird once the business side kicks in, which
Yeah.
that's been happening over the past like 2 3 years, where it's like, okay, like I gotta be, the charm of just being like I can make a group of strangers laugh is kind of worn off. Where it's like I need stability. I need
Yeah, you're
fucking
like,
yeah,
yeah, great, human happiness.
yeah,
What's next?
yes, yeah,
You got
yeah,
anything else, kid?
yeah, yeah. Want to buy some merch? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think comedy is such a weird art form, and it's pretty new. It's not like music.
No, yeah,
It's like you're just trying to pursue this reaction.
yeah. It's like 1920s kind of shit.
Yeah. And to be the best at it, you gotta like kind of go away from what you think the audience wants and discover
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah. You got to be on. You were saying this yesterday. Cutting edge of what's the next thing, because the second one comic says it's got like a 6 month shelf life, where then every other comic follows through with doing the same kind of thing in a different way,
Yeah.
and then it just becomes kind of hacky. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't mind a
Well,
little hack, but yeah, yeah, too much hack. It's like sugar to me. You don't want only sugar. You
yeah, you want
a
unique
spoonful.
perspectives. You don't
Yeah.
want to hear
But I'm
the
saying
same
that
thing.
unique perspectives with a little bit of hack. It's not that.
Yeah.
Not hack. I think it's
Everyone has
got
a
to.
different level.
Yeah. Some people are diabetic. That's all I mean.
Well, let's call it a night.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Thank
could
you,
do this
Hans.
after the shows.
Yeah, sure, man. Hey, follow me on Instagram. The fake
Don't do
Shiva.
it.
That's it.
You're gonna regret it.
Oh, really? I could use a follow. You can boo. I'm probably gonna regret that. You can fucking boo and do whatever you want.
Don't
Yeah.
follow Shiva at the fake Shiva Ari.
Report. The fake Shiva on Instagram.
Follow Shiva. Very funny comic. Now lives in Austin. Killed it at Hyenas.
Yep. Yeah, boo to
Um,
Kill Tony. Not
you
for this.
killed it
Not for
on
the
Kill
not
Tony
for the
too.
comedy, but for guitar. I can play guitar, by the way.
You
Just
can't, but
so
you were playing power chords, and Matt McCusker was like doing a solo.
I set that up for Matt. So in a sense, I did that. I
You
just want
set
to
it
put
up.
that up. He
That's
would have
not.
never touched the guitar if I
You
didn't
need
touch
to
the
do
guitar.
when you say I know how to play guitar, people don't want to hear like you know
I can, dude.
smells like teen or
Fucking okay, okay.
the
You're not
power
wrong.
chords and smells like Teen Spirit. They want to hear a solo like
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I also forgot I don't know if I can play in front of 8,000 people. I know I
Do
can
you
play
know how to
guitar.
play like guitar solo?
Yes.
You should
I'm
have done that.
I was on the spot, and yeah, I was just trying to figure it out. And also the thing was too high on me, and I didn't want to fuck with it, and I was trying to make do with what
He
I
didn't
got.
even want to give you the guitar.
He shouldn't have. He
Yeah.
should have given it to Matt immediately, and then yeah, what are you
Well,
gonna
you
do?
brought it up, right?
Yes, I didn't have anything. It was either that or heroin, and I was like, that's a weird.
Heroin.
That's such a weird thing to. That's not a special.
You could
That's
have
not
won
a
ten
special
thousand
skill.
dollars. It is a special skill.
What do you think they would give me the 10? They would be like, we can't give him the $10,000. He's going to spend it on heroin tonight, dude. Look at that. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was fun. That was better than that, Mike. That's for sure.
You think you had came up with any bits?
What? What do you mean?
Like comedy?
Yeah, it's mainly the Kill Tony stuff I've been working on. The fucking
Not
ten
just on
thousand.
the podcast.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, did you? Because that's what I use podcasts for. I try to like.
No, not this time. No, it was a lot of philosophy. So it was